What is up, everybody? This is VR 365. Welcome to a brand new episode. It is Wednesday. It is November 14th. There is a lot of stuff that is going on. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I tried a couple of different games yesterday, and I definitely have my thoughts on that. VR Furballs. Did you try the demo? That was the homework assignment. I hope everybody tried the VR Furballs demo. I definitely tried it. I will be talking about that in a little bit. And I also tried Megalith. Yes, Megalith is in an open beta for PlayStation VR. Now, Megalith is coming to us from Disruptive Games, but it is not coming until January 8th. So it's a little ways away. You know, we've got the rest of this month of November. We've got all of December. We've got like a week or so in January before we get Megalith. But the open beta is out there, and I did try that as well. So I'll be talking about that in a little bit. So we'll go ahead and get into that in a little bit. But you know what? I do have a number of different trailers that I wanted to go to today. Got a couple of different trailers that have popped up on the scenes. So let's go ahead and grab a couple of these trailers and see if we can check this out. Okay, so the first trailer I'm going to get into is Wreck-It Ralph. So you guys probably remember the movie Wreck-It Ralph that came out a handful of years ago. That movie came out, and it was kind of like an ode to video games and classic video games, and kind of making a movie about a character that's kind of in a video game. Well, now we have Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. And why is this in the news from a VR standpoint? Well, it's in the news because The Void has a Wreck-It Ralph experience, and I have the trailer for that. So why don't we go ahead and check this out. MameFan, by the way, he recently just went to The Void in Las Vegas. I believe he tried the Star Wars experience, but this is Wreck-It Ralph. So let's go ahead and check out this trailer and see what it is all about.
Over here! All aboard! Aren't they precious?
Surprise! We're taking you into the internet! There it is! Gamer Stream! Welcome to Thunderdome! Just start pushing everything you can see!
Hurry, guys! Don't panic!
Hey! Anybody? Help me! Oh!
Alert! Virus located.
Ah! Creepy eyeball! Ah!
Ralph!
Get off me, you stupid kitty buddy!
Prepare for immediate termination.
Uh-oh! Security drones! We gotta go help him! Let's do this!
Ah!
Alrighty, so that is Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. That is the Wreck-It Ralph VR experience, and it has started now. It is available now. So MameFan, man, you barely missed it. MameFan, I believe, is back. He's back home, I think. So didn't get a chance to do the Wreck-It Ralph, I'm guessing. Let's see. MameFan says, I'm so soft that Wreck-It Ralph made me cry because of the old unplayed arcade games. Oh, did you actually try this, MameFan? Did you try the Wreck-It Ralph Void thing? Because it says available today, but I don't know. Like, this trailer came out a couple of days ago, I believe. But yeah, that is Wreck-It Ralph. I'm a little disappointed in this trailer, honestly, because it doesn't really show what are the VR people doing? Like, what are you doing in VR when this stuff is going on? We don't really get to see much of that, so I'm not sure how that exactly works. But yeah, and so I guess MameFan did try it. Oh no, Ralph wasn't there. Ralph wasn't there. Okay, so MameFan did miss out on this one, which is kind of what I expected. Okay, so that is Wreck-It Ralph. Now you might hear the dulcet tones of Job, who has just arrived. He will be in the back. But a lot of times that the volume doesn't come through. So I guess not that big of a deal. Okay, so another thing I wanted to get into here, we have another trailer. And do you guys remember Spheres? Before I get to that trailer, let me go ahead and switch over here. This is Spheres, the award-winning VR space experience Spheres with an S, lands on the Oculus Rift. So technically, this is an exclusive temporarily on the Oculus Rift. It is now available. It is $9.99. This is Darren I can't say that last name. Darren Aronskis. I'm going to say Aronskis and eliminate the middle part of that. And writer-director Eliza McNitt. They take you on a trip through a universe filled with sound. And the thing about this is a 3-part experience. I've heard that it is really good, but it is $9.99. So you are going to have to actually kick out some legit money to do Spheres. I do have a trailer for Spheres, so why don't we go ahead and check out that trailer real quick, and let's go ahead and throw that on the screen.
What do you see out there in the dark?
So that is Spheres, Songs of Space-Time. And yes, that is available right now. You can go ahead and bounce over to the Oculus store. You can grab this for $10. It is a 3-part interactive. I don't know how interactive it is, but it is a space thing. Now, the reason this thing was kind of in the news a while back is this is one of the first VR productions that has sold for like $1 million. I believe somebody bought the rights to this for like $1 million. I think I'm right about this. Let me actually go back over here to this Road to VR story on it, because I'm pretty sure that this made the news as one of the first things where somebody invested a huge amount of money in it. Trying to see if it mentions that in this article, but I'm not really seeing it. Spheres was one of 5 Oculus-funded experiences to debut at Sundance this year. Oh yeah, and the experience was ultimately purchased in a staggering 7-figure deal by distribution firm City Lights. Okay, so whoever City Lights is, they paid $1 million for this Spheres thing, and there are 3 different chapters. Chapter 1, Chorus of the Cosmos. Chapter 2, Songs of Space-Time. Chapter 3, Pale Blue Dot. So I guess each of these chapters are 10 to 12 minutes. And, in this Road to VR article, it says, while it's an awesome feat of sound engineering and VR development prowess, I found it wasn't entirely adapted to the home user. Each chapter comes with a lengthy intro and credits roll that seem more at home in an expo demo space rather than in your living room or home office. At moments, I just wanted to stop, sit, and listen to the universe sing, but Spheres pushes you along at its own pace, presumably to get you in and out of each chapter under the 15-minute mark. That ultimately was my only gripe with Spheres. And this, of course, is Scott Hayden over there at Road to VR. So be sure to bounce over to Road to VR and check out their articles over there. That is Spheres. I'm still interested in this. I do want to check it out. Now, when it does come to the standpoint of spending money on stuff like this, I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. I don't know, for me, from a psychological standpoint, I seem to have this like psychological block in my mind. Let me move this thing over here because I got to be able to dial in my sound properly. I have some kind of psychological block that makes it very hard for me to spend money on what essentially is not a game, to spend money on experiences. I've enjoyed a lot of great VR experiences out there. There is, of course, the Blade Runner Memory Lab. That is a great experience. There's Senza Peso. There's Surge, that music video. There is, there's so many different VR experiences that aren't classified as a game. But it's difficult, I got to admit, it is difficult for me to think in my brain, let me spend $10 for an experience. Now, this might be well worth it, and these companies need to figure out a way to make money. They got to make this thing viable. It's got to work for all parts of the equation. And City Lights, they paid $1 million for this thing. They got to try to recoup their investment. Now, they probably recouped part of their investment by having this exclusively on Oculus for a limited period of time. So maybe they got a little bit of their investment back for that. And then they're probably going to bring it over to Steam and Windows Mixed Reality. Maybe it'll end up on PlayStation VR as well. Maybe you can get this on Oculus Go and a lot of other platforms eventually, and they'll try to make their money back off of that. But it is difficult. For me, when I think about it, I think there should be some kind of subscription service. Now, we know about Viveport, and Viveport is a pretty good idea. And if Viveport was just for these kinds of experiences, and if we didn't have to worry about the Viveport software killing our computers or blue screens of death and all of those kinds of things, I don't have a problem with signing up for a Netflix kind of a situation where I'm paying, even $10 a month. I could pay $10 a month towards a plan where I'm going to get Spheres, I'm going to get Dispatch, I'm going to get all these different experiences where they want to charge you, like the Great Sea, stuff like that. The Great Sea costs a little bit of money as well. Some kind of Netflix kind of a deal where you continue every month, you're getting these kinds of experiences. I think that's the way to go. Everest VR, that's a good example. MS Con weighing in with Everest VR. And MameFan says, to me, Spheres is better than all of those free things Anth often mentions, Senza Peso, Surge, etc., etc. Yeah, it's probably better. It probably is, because, who's going to pay $1 million for this? This is narrated by Jessica Chastain. There's a lot of production value that went into this. This seems to be a very high-end kind of experience. That's why I do want to try it. MameFan says worth $10 though? I don't know. Only did 1/3 of it so far. So MameFan, you went ahead and purchased it for $10. You've tried one of the chapters. What do you think about what Scott Hayden at Road to VR was talking about, how they kind of are moving you through the experience, and he kind of wanted to just relax and felt like he was being pushed through the experience? Did you feel anything like that? And Shirzad Khan Sidious says, like Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, we could have a Netflix type of a thing for VR experiences, really high-end 360 videos, 180 videos, but higher end, not your average Joe kind of thing, kind of the Felix and Paul stuff. Maybe some of the higher end Felix and Paul stuff would enter into a category like that. I do think we need something like that. So that is Spheres. I would like to try this, and I think I am going to try this in the very near future, so I'll probably have my thoughts on Spheres very soon. Okay, Job is getting a little bit closer to the door, which does mean an increased volume level. Let me go ahead and see. Do I have another trailer? Yeah, you know what? One of the things that some people have been talking about out here is this Teslasuit, okay? I have not been following this Teslasuit thing, but I did grab their basic trailer that kind of shows off the Teslasuit. Let's go ahead and check this out real quick. Guess there's no sound on this. I'm not getting any sound. So here is the full screen. Teslasuits incorporates a mesh of sensors that could deliver wide range of sensations. Touch, wind, rain, etc., etc. Easy washing. You can throw it right into your washer. Not a problem there. Compatible with VR headsets, mobile devices, laptops, consoles. Teslasuit is completely wireless, connecting to game consoles, VR headsets, smartphones, as well as PCs. As you probably hear Job very close to my door. T-Belt main control unit is a wearable computer controlling the Teslasuit modules with onboard data processing. And climate control module, X8 climate control module placed on torso, arms, and legs to simulate heat and cold. Range of temperatures varies. It can make it quite hot, quite cold. It can make your thighs kind of hot there, your shoulders. Tesla Development Kit Pioneer Edition based on neuromuscular electrostimulation. Comes as a full-body smart textile suit with T-belt control unit. That is the Teslasuit. So, yeah, no sound on that. So apologies for that. Don't know if anybody is really into this, but I know that I've seen this on the Vive subreddit. I've seen a number of different videos where people have tried this out. I believe Cherry from Cass and Cherry, I believe she tried this out. I think there's a video with her having this suit on and trying it out. Looks kind of heavy, but you know what? I got to admit, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I do believe we need to bring our bodies into VR. Now, the question I have for this Teslasuit, I know it does these like haptic sensations. I know you'll feel things on your body. You might be able to feel what it kind of feels like raindrops, or you feel like you got hit in your kidneys. You know, you're playing Creed, Rise to Glory. All of these kinds of things. All of that sounds interesting and sounds really cool. But is it tracked in any way? Is this thing tracked? Because what I want, if I'm going to wear a bodysuit, that shit needs to be tracked. I need to see my arms in VR. I need to see my shoulders, my chest, my legs, my calves, my thighs. I need to see all of that in VR. Are we tracked at all? Or is this tactile sensations, but you're not actually tracked? If you're not actually tracked, you know, I'm not really interested. The other thing you got to know about this is not Tesla, the motor company. This has nothing to do with Tesla, you know, the car company. This has nothing to do with that. It is called the Teslasuit, but it has nothing to do with that. So just so we know out there, because the very first time I heard about it, I was like, oh, this is like Tesla's actually doing this? Okay, Tesla's doing this. I actually care about this now. But then looking it up, no, it has nothing to do with Tesla. So there is that. Let me go ahead and bounce over to chat what people are talking about. Oh, you know what? Runes. Yes, Runes is available. You know, I reached out to Stormborn Studios or Stormborn Studio. See, so many of these different studio, it's either a studio or studios with an S on the end of it, and sometimes you don't know. I reached out to Stormborn Studio. I don't believe I've heard back from them, but I need to go check my email. Maybe they did shoot me out a code, but I do want to try this. Like, I am kind of hyped on Runes. We can go over here. Here is the Steam page for Runes. It is currently available. No user reviews so far. The price is $20. Now, the normal price is $25, but it is starting off with a 20% discount. So you can go ahead and you can grab Runes for $20. So not a bad deal there. And, you know, I guess we're just waiting to kind of hear, is this good or not? I kind of enjoyed that interactive trailer. I know Fluke wasn't a big fan of it, but I still kind of enjoyed that. So we'll have to see what the early reviews are from that. Rudel Zavedno says, you can't. How will you simulate G-force? No one can. Yeah, I mean, you can't simulate a G-force by just wearing a suit, I don't think. Shirzad Khan City says, Anthony, one step at a time. If we get spot-on sensations, I'm all in. Baby steps. But Shirzad Khan City, if you're going to go to the trouble of wearing some crazy-ass contraption over your body, bring me into VR. You know, if you're gonna wear a crazy thing like that, it should have some motion capture indicators on it somewhere. There should be some external camera that you can connect to. Bring your body into VR. I mean, all these people are doing VR chat. They're dancing around in VR chat because they're putting Vive controllers on their feet or whatever, or they're using Vive trackers. Like, I think it's a major mistake that this is not also tracked. If it was tracked as well, that's just one extra bonus, okay, as we continue to hear Job in the background. Let's see here. I think I had a couple other trailers that I wanted to grab real quick. Well, you know what? I've never ran a trailer for Virtual Warfighter, and I know there's a new trailer out there for Virtual Warfighter where they're showing that they're using Knuckles with Virtual Warfighter, and they're kind of showing that off. I haven't thrown on a Virtual Warfighter trailer yet, so why don't we go ahead and do that? Let's check out a Virtual Warfighter trailer. Okay, so this is Virtual Warfighter. You know what's crazy to me, guys? It's crazy to me that I see a lot of games come out that I never, like, when did this game come out? Like, I don't remember this game coming out. Like, if I go over here to this web browser window, I thought Virtual Warfighter was a new game. Like, I thought this was a new game that was coming soon. And then I go to the Steam page, it says September 2nd, 2016. This thing has been available for several years. I guess I must have heard about it here or there. It's $25, but it's amazing. As closely as I cover VR, and then also doing like VR game rankings and having people send in submissions of their top 20 VR games, somehow, some way, I've never come across Virtual Warfighter. So this is not a new game. This game's been available for a long time. The reviews are mixed. I just happened to see a Knuckles video that they posted recently that showed them using Knuckles, and I thought, well, you know, I could grab that Knuckles video, but I've never even ran the regular trailer for Virtual Warfighter, and this is like an old game. It's Much Ado About Nothing. So it's kind of crazy how many games there are that slip through the cracks that somehow I just miss out on that game, never even heard about it. Okay, going back over to chat to see what people are talking about. And Charles Van Nolan says you could have the suit articulate, motorized with muscle fibers embedded in it. So if you have something heavy, it tries to pull your arm down. That would be interesting. That's going to be very difficult. Let's see, damn it, Job. Yeah, Phil Yarn. I wonder if he could actually hear it in the background. Everybody always tells me they don't hear anything, but sometimes I hear it. Now, the thing is, I'll be doing timestamps, and I'll be wearing my headphones. And I guess a lot of people don't wear headphones. And so I'll hear airplanes and dogs and stuff, but I know about it. Like, I'm aware of it, so I'm kind of listening for it. Paradise Decay says, best thing will be that Job is a big VR YouTuber and Anthony doesn't even know. Yeah, that would be funny. Logan Paul. Yeah, Logan Paul is my janitor. Logan Paul is my gardener, and he's out there mowing my lawn right now. VRium. No, it would be like simulate the proprioception perception while walking, and I cannot talk again, so what am I doing? And Phil Yarn says, I was accepted into the Population 1 beta. Woohoo, should get my key today. It better be good. It's going to contend up against Contractors VR. Yeah, once again, Phil Yarn must work with, is it Caveman? Caveman Studio, the developers of Contractors VR. He's always plugging Contractors VR. Something is going on there. Not sure. Phil Yarn, Phil Yarn, why we have you in chat, it's crazy to me that Phil Yarn was asking for the Discord server for VR Game Rankings or VR 365 for the longest time, and I've never seen Phil actually in Discord whenever I've been in Discord. So that's always kind of unique there. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and move on, and I can actually talk about some of the stuff that I played yesterday. We can go ahead and start it off with VR Furballs, which I did play some VR Furballs yesterday. There is a demo out for this, and I figure, why not try it? Why not check it out? It looks very much like Angry Birds. I'm a mild Angry Bird kind of a fan. Let me type in VR Furballs into Steam here so I can make sure I have the price and everything like that. So VR Furballs, I guess this has also been available for a while, but maybe it came out of early access or something on November 9th. The reviews are very positive. The normal price for VR Furballs is $15. It does have a 35% discount, but that ends in just a couple of days. So if you want, you can grab VR Furballs for a little bit under $10. This is the Steam page over here, and there's the demo. You can try the free demo, and so I did try that yesterday, and you know what? It's not too bad. It really is not too bad. I tried the demo on this, and I had some fun. You grab these little furball guys. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Slingshot also, which of course is in the lab, because you're grabbing these different furballs. There's different colored furballs. They also have different kinds of textures on them, so they can be used for different purposes. And you grab the furballs, and you'll have a slingshot. But there's other items as well. There's tennis rackets, there's baseball bats. So it's a little bit different than just pure Angry Birds. It varies it up just a little bit. And these little furball guys, when you grab them, their eyes are blinking and stuff. They don't quite follow you in the way that like the Slingshot guys do. And they don't quite have the comedy factor that the Slingshot guys have. If you guys have not tried Slingshot in the lab, you absolutely got to do it, because I think the comedy factor is really, really good with Slingshot in the lab. And this doesn't quite have that. They do have their little eyeballs. They will look at you a little bit, but it's not quite up to that level. But yeah, I tried this out. The demo gives you a number of different basic levels that you can try out, and you're pretty much just slinging, you're grabbing your furball, you're putting it on your slingshot, you're pulling it back, letting it fly, and you have so many shots that you have to work with. And there's also a number of different mini games. There's a few different mini games you can see there with the tennis racket. There's like a little basketball game where it's kind of moving around, so they give you some varied mini games there. Now, the thing about VR Furballs is some of us have younger children, and we kind of want to have a game like this. And so I think of Steve, I think of Gary. They have younger kids. My kids are teenagers. They're playing Destiny and Fortnite, and today they're going to be playing Fallout 76. But that's the type of stuff that they're playing. They're not younger, so they're not really going to be into something like a VR Furballs. But if you have a 10-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 12-year-old, this is a great game for them. This is the kind of game that they would probably really be into and play it for a long time. Now, the question is, how good is this? Like, would I really recommend this to the average person out there? And I gotta say, for the most part, it's actually quite good, but there is a little bit of polish that is not quite there for me. And I'm trying to figure out how do I convey what I'm trying to think of here. And it's like, you know how you go in certain games and it's just so freaking polished that every little menu you're in, there's little sound effects and everything just works so well. And I'm trying to think of an example here. What is a game that has been polished to hell and back? Like something kind of like Space Pirate Trainer has been dialed in really well, really highly polished. That might be kind of an example, but I don't know. I just feel like in some of the menus and some of the screens that pop up, have you guys ever noticed this with VR games that sometimes they'll pop up a menu and it's like too close to you? It needs to be like 7-8 feet back from you, and instead it's like 4 feet and it's like locked to your head, and you got this menu that's locked to your head like that, and it kind of disorients you a little bit. There's just a little bit of polish and spit shine that needs to be added to this. If this was like a true AAA developer, I mean, the developer of this game, Gamely Studios, they've done a pretty good job here. I'm not trying to disparage this game. It's a pretty solid game, but it just doesn't have the kind of polish that you'd really want it to have. So I don't think I can just widely recommend this to everybody out there. But if you saw this for like $5, sure, I'd probably grab it. And if I had like a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old or a 12-year-old, I might grab it for this $10 sale price. But, you know, there's a lot of people grabbing this because it is pretty much Angry Birds. It's a relatively decent clone of Angry Birds with a lot of other mini games that are stapled on as well. And Jay Pace in chat is saying, click the like button. Yeah, this is something I got to mention a little bit more, is go ahead and subscribe. So I know there's a lot of people that watch these videos. It's amazing how many people watch these videos that aren't subscribed. Just go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and that helps promote this channel. It helps get this channel out there, more awareness for this channel, because I got to admit, eventually I might give this thing up. Eventually, I might just stop doing this if this channel doesn't continue to grow and move on. And so every like, every subscribe, all of that really helps keep this channel alive, keep this channel going. And so that is VR Furballs. But you know what? There's another big game I did want to grab here. Well, actually, wait, hold on. Before I do that, let me go ahead and read in chat. We have Rearlaful says, not surprised you haven't heard about Furballs. There is a YouTuber called Ben Plays VR that does 2-minute reviews for smaller games. You might have missed quite a few games. Might check out his list. Yeah, there's a million freaking games that come out that I never see all the time. It really is quite shocking how many little games sneak out. Because normally, I mean, I'm on the Vive subreddit every day. I'm on the Oculus subreddit, PSVR subreddit. I go to UploadVR every day. I go to Road to VR every day. I get these submissions sent to me for VR game rankings with people's rankings of their 20 favorite games. And I usually hear about almost every game. Even if it's a game I've never played before, I'll hear about it. For example, a game like Standout. Like, I've never played Standout. I never was really following Standout, but I've heard about Standout. You hear about it. There's so many games like that. Like, I could go look at the top 100 on VR game rankings, and there's probably like 7 or 8 games I've never ever played, but I hear about them a lot. And it's amazing how many games, though, that sneak through the cracks that somehow I never hear about it. It always surprises me. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch now to Megalith, and I'm going to throw on some Megalith footage here. It's just like some random Megalith footage for somebody that played it on PSVR. I'll just have that going on in the background. Maybe have a little bit of volume on it, but not too loud. Okay, so Megalith, this came out, the open beta started yesterday, and as somebody that covers this type of stuff, I felt like it was my duty to go into Megalith. But I gotta be completely honest with you, I wasn't looking forward to this. Not at all. I mean, to be totally honest, it's the same situation with 10 Hearts. Like, I'm not really looking forward to a Lemming style game. That is not up my alley. And this is a MOBA. You know, this is a multiplayer only thing. This is a MOBA. I've never played MOBAs. I'm not really into multiplayer or MOBAs. And I don't like, it's not in my wheelhouse, but I felt like it's my responsibility as somebody that is covering VR to be up to date on all the biggest games, all the latest games that people are interested in. And so even though I might not personally be into Megalith, it's my responsibility to jump in there and give it the old college try. And so I downloaded Megalith yesterday, and the day was going on. We were into nighttime. It was getting relatively late at night, and I'm like, damn, I still got to play Megalith. I went into VR Furballs, had some fun with VR Furballs, and I was working on some other stuff, and then I'm like, man, I got to go into Megalith. And so I jumped into Megalith probably 10 o'clock last night, 10 p.m., right? And I was thinking I was just going to go in there for 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops, just to kind of get a feel for this game. So I end up going into Megalith and playing this thing for like an hour and a half. And I had a ton of fun. It's actually really cool. Now, here's the thing though. The controls are difficult. They are absolutely difficult to get the feel for the controls. Takes some time. You are using Move controllers, and they put a lot of different controls on a lot of different buttons, and you got to kind of get the feel for it. This game actually does some different things in terms of locomotion. So one of the things it does in terms of like, how do you just move around? Paradise Decay says, Anthony, you'll love 10 Hearts. I played 10 Hearts and I liked it a lot. So I've played 10 Hearts. I liked it. The point I was trying to make with 10 Hearts is there's a lot of games that I'm not looking forward to playing the game, but I feel like I have to go in them anyway. And the reason I mentioned 10 Hearts is this game, Megalith, very similar. A game I'm not looking forward to, but a game I feel like I have to do my due diligence. So I went in here, I did my due diligence, and I found out that this is way the hell better than I could have possibly imagined. In fact, I highly recommend any of you that happens to have a PlayStation VR, you're going to want to download this open beta. You're going to want to give this game a chance, Megalith. It is a MOBA, but the thing about this game is it's 2-on-2. And so a lot of times I have problems with some of these multiplayer games because you get in there, there's like 7 or 8 people running around. You feel like you're going to bring your team down. And there's something about being in a 2-on-2 game, or maybe I was just blessed because the people that I ended up playing with last night were very friendly, very accommodating, very relaxed. Like they were like chill and like they were helping me out with like what are the different buttons, like how do you move, how do you do the snap turning. I was trying to figure out all these things out and they were kind of helping me along. I ended up playing with 2 different guys for a pretty considerable length of time and just super friendly, really nice dudes that I played with that kind of helped me through the game. And so it's 2-on-2. You're on this backdrop. The scene that you're seeing here kind of reminds me of, it almost reminds me of like Greece or Rome, but kind of like on an alien planet, like a Greece or a Rome that is on an alien planet, kind of altered beast. I don't know. There's something about these backgrounds that kind of give me that kind of vibe. I thought the graphics were pretty good. You know, I thought it looked pretty good. The sound is pretty good. The gameplay, it's very convoluted in terms of the controls. You're going to have to spend a bit of time to learn these controls, but there's a lot of things that you can do. Maybe the only negative I could possibly say about this Megalith game is that the battles are almost too long. I was in this battle with this one guy and it lasted like 45 minutes or something. And I feel like the battle should be a lot shorter. They should be more like 25 minutes. But the battle that I got into with this guy, and we were going up against 2 other guys, and it was really this back and forth affair. So these other guys would come in do a lot of damage to us. We barely survive, and then we would get our health back up. We do a lot of damage to them, and so it was like kind of going back and forth. So neither of us could get the upper hand, and it ended up lasting like 45 minutes. It was like this epic long battle. The other thing is, so you have these different characters that you can choose. There's a number of different avatars that you can pick. There's like 5 or 6. If you go ahead and you pre-order this game right now, this game does not come out until January 8th. So we're going to be waiting a little while. But if you pre-order this game right now, you'll actually have access to all 4 or 5 of the different characters that are on offer immediately. If you don't pre-order, if you're just going to go into the open beta normal style, you'll have 2 characters that you can choose between. And the characters are a little bit different. You know, some of them are better with ranged attacks. Some of them are better with melee. You have these little minions. Like right now on the screen, we can see these little blue guys running around, and there's little red guys running around. You're like this big giant character, kind of like a King Kong or a Godzilla, and then you have these other little guys that are running around below you. Those are your minions. And the bad guys, they have their minions. You have your minions. Conrad Lawrence is saying, so who won? Well, the guy that I was playing with, dude carried me. I mean, I kind of sucked at this game. I was trying to get used to like the different special moves that I had, the different special abilities that I had. And this guy was a lot better than me. He carried me. But he was really cool because I was dying quite a bit, and it was really my fault that the game lasted like 45 minutes because I just wasn't very good. But he was able to withstand it, and he did well enough that we ended up winning. Actually, both times I played, I ended up winning, even though I hardly knew what I was doing. But it's a cool game. Definitely get in there. Definitely try out Megalith. It's another example of a game that I honestly thought I would be in here for 10, 15 minutes tops, just so I could say, you know, I was in Megalith, and just so I could not be lying about that and say, you know, I got in Megalith and I saw the graphics, I saw kind of what it looked like. That was my plan, and then I ended up in here for like an hour and a half and stayed up way later than I ever thought I was going to do. So everybody, if you got a PSVR, absolutely get in there, try Megalith. I kind of wondering if Disruptive Games is going to end up bringing this to PC VR at some point. Maybe there is a limited PlayStation VR exclusivity window, and this could come to PC VR as well. And I think it could probably do quite well. It's multiplayer though, so again, anytime you're dealing with a multiplayer game in VR, you always have to worry about that player base. And I'm not sure if there's going to be any. The one thing I did wish this thing did have, though, I really wished that there was a tutorial, because the controls are very, like, they're using every little button, and they're using buttons for different things, and I felt like there really should be a tutorial. That was maybe the only downer, and then also that I felt like the games just went on a little bit too long. So that is Megalith, so I just wanted to bring that one up. Okay, let's see here. Did I have some other trailers I wanted to grab? Well, you know what? I can throw this Beat Saber arcade cabinet thing. I wanted to show this a number of days ago and never got around to it. This is this like Beat Saber arcade cabinet trailer that looks kind of cool. I don't know if any of you guys saw this. It's basically this standalone Beat Saber deal that is supposedly operator free. Like no one has to touch it. Like it's just you can pay money, you can put on the headset, you get tracked, you're standing in front of it, it's an all-in-one machine, and there's no operator that uses it at all. So you go to the arcade, it's a standalone deal. But I did see this trailer, it looks kind of cool. Just wanted to show that off for a second. Of course, it does the same old Escape music video, Beat Saber video that is so well known. But you're looking at this contraption from over here, and I don't really understand, like, where is the person? Does the person go inside this thing? Or not? Where does this person stand? We see this giant LCD screen. So I don't know how that works. But yeah, this is this Beat Saber arcade video. Yeah, that's the tear-inducing song. I like the song. What am I going to tell you? I like the song. And it worked really well that very first time I played Beat Saber. because I had seen this mixed reality video so many times, and I just think the mixed reality video is a cool video. It does it so well, like it shows it off so well. And I remember saying, like, way before I ever got Beat Saber, I said, if it looks half as good as these videos make it seem, this game is going to absolutely kill it. And then when I finally got it, it's not only half as good, it's all the way there. And that's why I did, like, tear up a little bit, or felt, you know, the goosebumps going up and down my arms. Like, I'll admit it, it actually did happen. Okay, but anyway, that's that trailer there. Yeah, 6 days until the PSVR release of Beat Saber. Okay, so let's see, what can we get into? You know what I didn't actually do today before starting this show is actually get an opportunity to check out any of the news stories on the various websites. But we can definitely go ahead and bounce over to some of the major websites and see what's going on. So let me go over here. This is Road to VR. So I'll go back to the main page. Oh, there is some news that I haven't mentioned yet. Okay, so we got the Wreck-It Ralph thing. We saw the trailer for that. It is coming to the Void very soon. We saw the trailer for Spheres, which is available right now for $10. And I have not checked this out. Haptics Company is this Exos wrist haptic device, another haptic device that is out there. But this is the story I wanted to get into. So Owlchemy Labs, we had always heard that Vacation Simulator was a fourth quarter release. And apparently that has been pushed into 2019. So we don't know when in 2019. And I think there's a new trailer actually, or they have these new avatars that they are bringing to the game. But I believe this is now scheduled basically for first quarter 2019. We don't know exactly when, but it is now first quarter 2019. I should probably go ahead and grab that trailer, and then I can throw it on the screen here. But yeah, this is some news that is going on. And, you know, delayed out of 2018, which is fine, because we probably have enough stuff that is coming the rest of this November and also in December as well. So this game being delayed a little bit is not necessarily the end of the world. I'm still looking forward to Vacation Simulator. I know there's a lot of people out there, like, for example, Steve Bishop of VR Roundtable fame was never a vacation simulator or a job simulator. He was never a big job simulator fan, always kind of felt that it was quite overrated, and just never kind of understood why people got into job simulator. But for me, what it was all about is it was all about your hand presence and just what you could do with your hands. Job Simulator to this day has done that better than any other game, I think, in terms of giving you that agency for picking up lots of little things, moving things around, doing a lot of different things. Okay, so here is the new trailer. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Hey, human, did you get anything down there? Nice! I haven't caught anything all day. Hey, I was gonna eat that. Okay, whatever floats your boat.
Hey, human, think fast.
What good are hands if you can't catch? Oh, that's my team.
Hey, human, don't you want to see the rest of Vacation Island?
Tastes like
Time off.
fast. What good are hands if you're good at touch?
My God, I'm muted. How many VR games do we have that don't let you, they don't let you touch anything. They don't let you move things, pick things up, move them around. How long was I muted? A long time? Damn it. You know what? I've been using this special thing. Check this out, guys. This is one of my little face diapers for the Oculus Rift. And what I was doing is I was setting this on my monitor every time I muted. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm muted. I got to take it off. And I forgot to use it. My bad. Christian Jensen says, we should start a mini game where we bet on how long it will be until I'm muted and have small prizes for the ones that get closest. Yeah. Kevgret says, my boss just walked by my desk and saw me drinking. He said, Anthony muted his mic again, huh? Yeah, are you hitting that Jack Daniels, Kevgret? Be careful with that. Not a good idea at work. Yeah, damn it. I do that every single time. I blame it on the gremlins, but it's really not the gremlins' fault on that one. Okay, so what did I want to do, though? I want to go over to UploadVR and see what their news stories are. Okay, so let's go ahead and bounce over to UploadVR, see what they got going on. So here we have Ralph Breaks the Internet, or Ralph Breaks VR. The Voids VR theme park adds Wreck-It Ralph experience. We've already covered that. Hawaii plans to release AR glasses within the next 1 to 2 years. Chinese tech company Hawaii has told CNBC that it's going to commercialize augmented reality glasses within the next 1 to 2 years. No surprise there. There's going to be all kinds of people getting into that. Oh, you know what? Age of Sail. This is actually available. You know what? I heard about this last night. Yeah, this has come out. This is available already. I forgot to go into it. So that's something. Final recommendation says worth watching. It is available now on Steam. Yeah, you know what? We heard about this. Yeah, this was available yesterday on the 13th. You can play it. It's out there. So I will definitely check that out prior to tomorrow's episode. So that is available on Steam. Definitely check that out. So Age of Sail, forgot about that one. Tetris Effect has a hidden Game Boy level because of course it does. Tetris Effect, man, I don't know. I just have to say kind of a dud there. Kree's Rise to Glory adds Victor Drago in free update. We did hear about that update that was coming. And then the Game Award nominees. So yeah, they're doing this Game Awards thing. Let's see what some of the nominees are so far. The Game Awards announced their official nominees for all categories in the 2018 ceremony next month. Astrobot, Beat Saber, Firewall Zero Hour, Tetris Effect, and Moss. Tetris Effect? What the F? Tetris Effect. Really? Tetris Effect just came out. It is not very good at all, in my opinion. I mean, it might be fine for a flat game, but there's nothing VR about it, in my opinion. I mean, very mild VR. Oh my God, this is so disappointing. This is Mizuguchi love. Oh my God, is this Mizuguchi love? Yeah, this is Jeff Keighley wanting to have Mizuguchi on stage. That's all that is. I mean, this is redonkulous. Really? Okay, Astrobot, I have no problems whatsoever with Astrobot being nominated. I have no problems with Beat Saber being nominated. Firewall Zero Hour, I mean, I'd much rather it be Firewall Zero Hour than Tetris Effect. That's for damn sure. Moss, Moss, I don't necessarily have a major problem with Moss, but where the hell is In Death? Where is In Death? In Death came out in 2018. Where's maybe Transference? Where's Windlands 2? Like, we haven't even gotten into the topic of what are the best games that have released in the year of 2018. Even like Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Tetris Effect. Really? Oh my God, that is terribly disappointing. Let's see what people are talking about over here in chat. Maybe there are some people that are fans of Tetris Effect. Let's see. Tezrum says, get a headset with its own mute button and the mic flash. Well, you know what? Look, the mute thing, again, my complaint is with OBS. If you mute your mic, there should be some kind of glowing thing on the screen that tells you your mic is muted. Like, that doesn't seem like that's a shocker, does it? So I know I got to get better at this. Damn, Anthony going in on Tetris Effect. Yeah, it is rigged. It is straight up rigged. That's Orlor saying it's rigged. Paradise Decay says it's the only VR game in there. More like Shitris Effect, says Ekin Hawk. Chris Gould, Tetris Effect has been getting very high scoring reviews. Wonder why? Mizuguchi, baby. That's why. Everybody loves Mizuguchi. Cedric Harris 12 says, wow, that's crazy. And I always say Cedric Harris 12 rather than Harris Cedric 12 because I know what you did there, Cedric. I know what you did there. Paradise Decay says, I already voted for Beat Saber. Charles Van Nolan says, yeah, In Death it deserves to be nominated. Oh shit, Wipeout VR. Yeah, Wipeout VR over freaking Firewall. Get Firewall out. I mean, Firewall Zero Hour, not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination, and I could conceivably see Firewall being ranked, but Wipeout VR? Wipeout VR, absolutely. Wipeout VR and In Death and Astrobot. You know, I don't know what the top 5 should be. Cedric is saying Hellblade should be up in there. Chris Gould says Hellblade. Gerard O'Hara says Beat Saber all day. We didn't have to worry about Beat Saber. We knew that was going to get nominated. And Beat Saber will probably win, to be honest. And then Fluke says, even I don't have a problem with Astrobot being nominated, but yeah, Tetris Effect should be there for a VR nomination. No, not at all. Tried Wipeout and Astrobot on a buddy's PS4. Great VR games. Not sure if Wipeout beats PC Redout in VR. That's King Hell. I don't know, man. Wipeout VR is damn good. But yeah, that's why a lot of these Game Awards things, a lot of them are kind of lame. They're just not very good. This is the Jeff Keighley thing. So the one thing about the Game Awards, when is this actually going to happen anyway? When is the Game Awards? Is it like early December or something? But one of the things that we can look forward to with the Game Awards is sometimes there's a big game that comes out of the blue that we get a trailer for with the Game Awards. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the only reason to watch it. And there doesn't seem to be too much else going on over there on UploadVR. We already checked out Road to VR. Okay, why don't I take a quick look at the subreddits real quick before we bounce out of here. Fluke says Wipeout and Hellblade were patches for old games, so maybe that's why. They both deserve to be nominated, though. But Wipeout, yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, they are patches, and those games have already been available. So, yeah, I mean, from the availability standpoint, I do understand that. But Wipeout, they really, really did a proper job. It wasn't like they just pressed a button to make it 3D and like just walked away from it. They really made it work well in VR. So yeah, that is pretty terrible. Okay, heading over here to the Vive subreddit. Runes is live on Steam. We did it. Kind of nice to see this upvoted all the way to the top. Let's see if anybody, congratulations, congrats, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know that we've had anybody check in that have played the game yet. So I don't think anybody has checked in as far as actually playing it. It's on Oculus Store as well. I'm definitely interested in the early reviews on that, though. Absolutely. Okay, Chet Faliszek on Twitter. This is kind of interesting. How did I miss UploadVR hired Haney555? Yes, kids, you too can make it in this world if you just troll hard enough and act irrationally enough. You too can become a VR reporter. That's kind of funny. Like, Chet really went all out on that. How did I miss UploadVR fired? Maybe they should fire. How did UploadVR hired Haney555? He put one too many fives out there. That's funny. That is really quite hilarious. I mean, Chet does not pull any punches. Like, he doesn't trip. He doesn't care at all. But I got to go back to the Vive subreddit. Accidentally got off of there. But yeah, that's Chet Faliszek. So here's the Virtual Warfighter and Knuckles EV3. See, this is the thing that I saw, and I was going to go ahead and grab this video here. Like, if I skip to the end here, it shows the actual Knuckles controllers. Like, they're holding the Knuckles controllers in their hand. They're grabbing these different weapons. They're like letting go of the weapons. They're kind of like explaining the whole thing. And this is actually really cool. But like right here, you can really see Knuckles EV3. They're being rendered in the game. You're holding stuff, you're grabbing it, you're dropping it, all those kinds of things. Looks pretty cool. And I was going to grab this video and talk about this video, but I was like, you know what? I've never grabbed the Virtual Warfighter, the original trailer itself, so I thought I better grab that. I didn't even know this game was out. Like, they did not do a very good job of marketing because I didn't even know this game was already out. But yeah, that is the Knuckles EV3 thing that I was telling you guys about in relationship to Virtual Warfighter. And then the Teslasuit. This is why I'm talking about the Teslasuit. A lot of people are talking about that. There is no relation to the actual Tesla Motors company, though. Windlands 2 comes out tomorrow on Steam. Remember, we're pretty excited about that. A lot of people are probably going to want to check that out. And that's pretty much what's going on there on the Vive subreddit. Let's take a quick look at Oculus. Runes is live. Oh, this guy redid his Oculus Go, made it kind of give it a little Virtual Boy look. That's kind of cool. You know, kind of sweet. Not a bad idea there. I mean, kind of nice. Here's some talk about contractors. Phil Yarn has probably upvoted this one. And Top Free is now back on the Oculus Store. A lot of people were complaining about this, that somehow the free thing got removed, and everybody was like, wait a minute, I can't find free stuff anymore. A lot of complaints about this, and apparently now it's back. I don't know if this is a case of Oculus reading the Oculus subreddit and responding to complaints, or if it was just some kind of weird thing that happened. Echo Combat Launch blog. And that's pretty much it. So a lot of other stuff. Let me just take a quick look at PSVR. Over here, PSVR. Yeah, not much bouncing on. Not much going on over here at PSVR. Okay, so basically, guys, I just wanted to kind of check all that stuff out. I know today's show, I got to admit, a little bit discombobulated. I got thrown off with the very beginning of the show when I started it and there was no chat. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? No chat. Because I did try a new technique. So this is the new technique that I'm going to try to do every single day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be setting up a new event that starts at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And you guys can go ahead and hop in there. You can talk in chat leading up to the event. And then the reason that I'm doing this, the main reason I wanted to do this, is there will be no more countdown timer. And the beautiful thing about not having a countdown timer, because it'll just automatically be built into the event. So I don't need to have my own countdown timer, which means I don't have to edit the beginning of the videos anymore, which means I'll be able to add timestamps way the hell faster. Like, I still don't have timestamps on yesterday's video because it was editing in YouTube and the editing was taking forever. I kept checking back on it. It was still editing. Editing in process, and it just never stopped. I'm guessing it's done by now and I can put timestamps on yesterday's video. But from here on out, we will have an event set up for the next day's live stream, and that's the way we're going to do it. And the event starts, bam, we go right into it. Hopefully I'll have the chat window set up for tomorrow, and everything will be good. So everything should be good from that standpoint. All right, let me go ahead and throw on my, basically just my little outro. Not a trailer here. We're still working on the trailer. That will be coming soon. But yeah, basically that's going to go ahead and do it for today's show. Once again, if anybody is watching this and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and ring the bell. Do the bell thing, whatever that is. Go ahead and like the video, and you can also dislike it as well. We did have a few minor technical difficulties today. I was a bit discombobulated with Job and the chat and everything, but you know what? We're going to get this thing dialed in. We're going to get this thing dialed in sooner rather than later. It's going to get better and better. And the more I get used to this, the more it'll be streamed in. And then eventually I'll stop muting myself. That's going to be key. Got to stop muting myself. So anyways, we're going to continue to get better. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Later.